How's everybody doing out there? This is The Awakening. I am Solikin, and I want to get into this message. We need to appreciate the things that God has given us because they're not promised. And people, we take a lot of normal things that we experience every day. We take these things for granted because we have them with us every day. And we think it's just normal, something normal to have. We have these things with us every day. We think it's just, like oxygen, something as simple as breathing oxygen, the level of oxygen that you maintain on the earth for your comfortability. That's only put into place by very finite factors. Like these things can't be recreated by mankind. These are very gravity. That's holding the earth up. These are very fine-tuned attributes. These are very fine-tuned calculations and fine-tuned levels of things that have to go on. Like say there's a certain level of oxygen to hydrogen ratio that you need. There's a certain speed the earth has to be going to maintain its axis. There's a certain distance the sun has to be from the earth to keep it from burning up. The sun gives us warmth. It gives us the things, the rays we need to grow our plants. It gives us everything that we need. But yet, if it was just tweaked out of its alignment by just a finite decimal point, this world would burn and couldn't sustain life. Who do we thank for keeping all of these things in order in the universe, in the order that we have? And who do we thank for the things, the order and the good things? And I'm going to go back to this. Remember what I said, the good things that we have. Who can we thank for that? None other than Jehovah, the living God, our God. That's it. In the times of Noah, in the book of Genesis, the Lord, we all know that he destroyed the world. He destroyed the earth with a flood. And God made a new covenant with Noah. And God said that this is a token. Let me just start at chapter 9, verse 1. It said, and God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. That's one of the good things of God. As human beings, and see, God uses all things, for his benefit. But as humans, we're given dominion over everything on this earth. You see men in Dubai, you see them, you see a lot of these men on the internet, you may think that they're crazy. They have leopards for pets. They have lions in their home for pets. They have Black Panthers, all types of things. I'm not saying and advising you to do this, but what God is saying is that you subject all of these creatures. They are under you. And as long as you have possessed the fear of the Lord and faith in God, you can subject even a lion. David told you that when he was out hunting and going to get his sheep, he grabbed the lion by his mane and slew him. He got him out of there. So that's the power and the favor and the good things that the Lord offers. If this was not so, you can go outside. Like you see some people, they get mauled and hurt very badly by a domestic dog. These are the same dogs that people have in their homes, around their babies, around children. But see, God, I can prove this to you biblically. God uses animals to act out his will, act out his judgment, punishments, and things like that. How do I know that? I've already given you one verse here to where God is saying that, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. He's the one who's controlling that. Do you understand? We're in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 23 through 25. And he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and they mocked him and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head. Go up, thou bald head. These are children mocking the prophet of God, Elisha. They're mocking him after he's done, his work for the Lord. He's speaking, doing great things. He's doing all the things that he's supposed to do for God. These are all good things. Imagine Mother Teresa or prophet you see just doing good on the earth, doing God's work. And then as he's getting up, walking, you have wicked children coming to mock a man of God. These children are being used by Satan, and these children are wicked. And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the woods. 2 she-bears, 2 bears, 2 animals, 2 bears came out of the woods, and they tore 42 children of them. The bears came out and killed 42 children. This was all on the will of God. He enabled the bears to in turn override what he told Noah, which is giving all humans, and the same thing he told Adam. All humans are given dominion over animals and things. It don't matter what they are, bears, whatever. Why you think big elk and big animal? They're scared of humans. They're literally scared of you until God activates something in them, and they'll turn against you, and he'll use them to act out his will. He used those bears to kill those children, and those wicked children who were probably of wicked parents. And he used those bears to enact his will to take those kids off the earth. Okay? I'm not saying where they ended up. If they ended up in heaven or hell, whatever. I don't know all that. What I'm saying is God used them. I gave you Bible where God uses the animals. But see, that's a good thing of God that we don't appreciate. You could be sitting with your big German Shepherd or sitting with your pit bull, and God activated. You know what I'm saying? And now that thing is like, it's became a enemy to you. Like it's trying to attack you. You understand? Danger to you. But see, we don't appreciate the things that God has given because we don't even know. We sit here breathing air. We sit here, on this earth, basking in the sun that could just destroy the whole planet. We sit here not thinking, not being mindful, not being thankful for the things we have. It's just like anything. You have internet, you have air conditioning, you able to go get. You able to get up and go get you a meal. You have money to do that. Some people don't even see that in front of their face. They want to be rich. They constantly chasing something that's away from them. God has nothing to do with that. He's not happy with that. That shows an unappreciative spirit. That shows that you don't appreciate anything good that you get. And if it's coming from the living God, you don't appreciate nothing good you get from any person. Like, that's why you have this society today that is really like, what have you done for me lately? You could pretty much take care of a person, bring them from nothing, and soon as something happened, at the drop of a hat, if you do something they don't like, now they leaving you high and dry. They don't want nothing to do with you no more. You a bad person. It's just unappreciative people. They totally forget everything the good things that have happened to them. But what I'm here to tell you, man, is that you definitely need to do some work on that mindset, and you need the Holy Spirit to be able to enter you and change that spirit within you, man, because that's not good to be like that, to be unappreciative. That's just not good, period. That's not even just to God, you being unappreciative to God. Like I said, it trickles down to everything. You don't appreciate nothing good you have. And and these things aren't promised to you. Back in the days, look at the times when America was just getting started. Look at the times have times in the Bible. Look at all of the things that the Hebrews went through. We can go in where Moses was leading what do you think that God's people was going through when they was in slavery in Egypt? Do you understand? But even then, They were slaves there. When Moses took them out of the wilderness, took them out of slavery and brought them into the wilderness, when he did that to lead them into the promised land, they were complaining to Moses. Let's get into that. Now, this is in the book of Exodus. And I'm going to start at chapter 15. Now, to give you context, remember, we're talking about the Israelites. They were being led from their slavery and captivity in Egypt. They were slaves and captives in Egypt. They weren't free. Though they were given, they weren't just treated like how antebellum slavery is. They still weren't treated well. They were treated as second-class citizens, and they were complaining to God. You had people being, others getting unjustly killed, things like that. They were complaining to God. You understand? And they was a strict, hard oppression on them because they were multiplying quickly and fast. And the Egypts were becoming fearful of them. So it was just only a matter of time before something very bad was going to be done to them. But God freed them. He heard them. He knew that there was his people needed him, and he came down and answered that call. He sent a man named Moses. And now we're in the context. Moses freed the Israelites with all of showed Pharaoh all of those plagues, and God led them out of captivity personally. He parted the sea. God led them on a pillar of a cloud in the wilderness. This is what God was doing. He was basically taking his people by the hand to lead them into the promised land. Now in this Exodus, they're traveling. They're in the desert traveling with Moses and Aaron. God's leading them to the promised land. All they have to do is stay loyal, keep it tight. All they have to do is just keep the faith in God that he's going to do what he said he's going to do. But what do these people do? These are the chosen people of God. How much more can you expect from people who aren't Israelites, who aren't the chosen, who didn't see God like that, see all the miracles of God? That's the people you get today. They're so far from the Lord. They don't appreciate nothing that they have. They don't appreciate the living situation that God has given them. So let's start in the book of, the chapter 15, verse 1. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he had triumphed gloriously. The horse and the rider he had thrown into the sea. They're singing now. They happy because they saw God part a sea, and Israelites crossed on dry land. And when the Egyptians came to chase after them, God closed it. He closed the sea and killed all of them and disrupted their plan. God did this. So the Israelites are singing with Moses now because this just happened. So they're appreciative of it now. The Lord is my strength and song, and is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host had he cast into the sea. His chosen captains are also drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, has dashed in pieces the enemy. God did that for them. They didn't fight against the Egyptians. They couldn't fight against them. They were captives. But God, this is where the saying that the Lord is a man of war comes from. God came in, closed the sea, and drowned the Egyptian captains. These are mighty captains who could kill many men, who could take over nations. God ended them in one fell swoop. But we're gonna get to, do they appreciate that what God did? And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with a blast of thy nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright as in a heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword in my hand and destroy them. This is what the Egyptians were saying. But in a mighty breath, God, it said, thou didst blow with thy wind, and the sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretched out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. So that ends at verse 12, and this is still chapter 15. So now I want to jump to verse 22, same chapter 15 in the book of Exodus. But this is verse 22. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea. They went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. When they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name is called Marah, meaning bitter waters. And the people murmured against Moses. This is where the unappreciativeness started to creep in. Satan starts to come into the heart. The people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And Moses himself cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast the tree into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and ordinance, and there he proved them. Do you see? The people got fed up. They didn't hold the faith to God. They didn't remember all the things God did for them. And because of 3 days with no water, they started to murmur against Moses. They started to talk down, like they're talking bad about him. And Moses prays to the living God because that's his right-hand man, right? He prays to God. God gives him the tree. He gives him the knowledge of how to purify those waters. So Moses goes to get the tree, puts it in the waters, purifies the water now. Now they can drink it. So that problem is solved. And he proved that God will provide for them and be true. Okay. And this is in verse 26. And said, if thou wilt die, and this is what Moses said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord, thou God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, keep all of his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. This is what God was saying. This God was telling this to Moses. And they came to Elim, and were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there. So they found water. They got all of the things that they needed. And now we go to chapter 16. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation and the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after their departing from the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness, talking about them behind their back, talking bad about them, talking bad about the same men who led them out of captivity. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth in the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. So they basically saying, you should have left us as slaves. At least we had meat to eat and we had bread. They gave us bread. Like I said, it wasn't antebellum slavery. So they're complaining against Moses and Aaron for that. But they really complaining against God. This is who they complaining against. Not Moses and Aaron. They complaining against God. They're unappreciative. They're not even patient. Then said the Lord unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or not. See, God is the one who's providing. And it's not Moses and Aaron that they talking about, that they're murmuring against, that they're losing faith in. They're losing faith in God. And it's like people today, throughout generation, you've had, in America especially, you've had it so easy. God have put everything on easy street for you. He's given you all these things. God bless America. In God we trust is on all of the currency. But yet and still, nowadays, people haven't taught their children about, not everybody here has taught their children about the living God, have passed down the things that he's not only done for the Israelites, but what God has done for America. They have forgotten about this, the Alamo, the wars that God have put over, the things that God has done for us, for even the chosen people of God that's been brought over here on slave ships and endured antebellum slavery. We forgot about those things and became ungrateful, the same as the Israelites. And we're being ungrateful to God. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day, they shall prepare that which they bring in. And it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. God is providing them with bread in abundance, raining from heaven. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, even then ye shall know that the Lord had brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord. For he that heareth your murmuring against the Lord. And what are we that ye shall murmur against us? That's what Moses and Aaron is saying. What are we? What did we do? We only follow God. We only did what he told us to do. And you saw the great miracles that he did through us. He released you from captivity. Otherwise, you would have never got free. You understand? God did this. God killed the firstborn of the Egyptians and left yours to live. Moses is like, why are you murmuring against us, man? You know what I'm saying? Who are we? And Moses said, this shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. God's going to provide all of that. I'm not a chef. I can't tell the animal to come here. I can't make bread rain from heaven. God's going to do it, because in order to show you and prove himself to you. And Moses said, this will be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, in the morning bread to the full. For the Lord heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. And what are we that your murmurings are against us, but against the Lord? And Moses spake unto Aaron, saying unto the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before the Lord, for he had heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked towards the wilderness, and behold, the Lord appeared. The glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. The glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning, the dew lay around about the host. The dew that they can make was manna that they can use to make bread. And when the dew lay up and was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness, there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. When the children of Israel saw it, one another, it is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is your bread, which the Lord had given you to eat. This is the thing that the Lord had commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer of every man according to the number of his persons. Take ye every man for them which ye are in his tents. So God provided all of this for the Israelites. How much more do you think he'll do for you? And even still, we know the Israelites, this didn't satisfy them. We can continue on, but we know how this ends, that God had to destroy a lot of them in the wilderness because they were wicked. They forgot the living God who set them free and did all of these miracles and did everything for them. It's the same way with people today. You have forgot all the things that God has done for you. You thinking that you maintain the earth. You thinking that you control all of these things. You thinking that because you wake up in the morning, that's, and you in your right mind, you breathing, and you able to go do your daily activities, that it's you doing all that. That it was all something that you did. You controlling your blood and your circulation and your circulatory system in your body. You control nothing. Every good thing you have is from God. Jehovah, the living God, El Elyon, El Shaddai, whatever you want to call him. This is where your good things come from. This is where us as human beings get our good things from the earth. And this is where hell is the worst thing you can experience. It's not just the flames. It's not, the demons that's there torturing you. It's the fact that you will be separated from the living God, and all good things come from him. He's going to take all of his good things with him. He's not obligated to take you into heaven, the next frontier of, of paradise. He's not the next frontier of living. He's not obligated to do that. You're going to remain on earth. You're going to remain in the lower parts of the earth where your soul will go, where the demons are housed, where hell is. And all of the good things of God are going to leave the earth and go with him. This earth will pass away. It's going to pass away. You got to understand that. And God's not obligated to take you to heaven. You're not appreciative. You have to appreciate everything that God has done for you. When you wake up in the morning, when you walking, God not obligated to give you proper walking ability. You understand? You see people every day who's lame. They can't walk. Some people are born that way, but God's giving you that ability. He is the one who's giving you that good thing and maintains it. You don't maintain anything. We can take care of our bodies. You see people work out every day. We can eat right, work out every day, do the most. We lifting weights. Dude have a heart attack. I've seen it. See a dude work out every day. Oh man, we doing this. We working. I'm doing this. He end up having some illness that thick as this Bible. That's part of the illnesses that's in the book. As thick as this Bible that's in the medical facility. It's a true thing. Like they don't have explanations for a lot of this stuff. You are operating on high levels of faith every day. All of us are. And we need to thank God for the good things that we have. Okay? He's the one who provides those things. God is the provider. We can't be so arrogant and think that all these things come from us. Stop being that way. That is a wicked spirit. And you cannot please God with that spirit. You'll never see God with that spirit. And you'll be destroyed in your sin in that spirit. The same way the Israelites were. God didn't have no favor. He's no respecter of persons. Though he chose the Israelites as his chosen people, he didn't have favor on them to not destroy them, the same as he did with the Egyptians for not obeying. So I want you to pay attention to that, man. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. This is Super Solican, and this is The Awakening. Peace and blessings to those the hearers and doers of the Lord's word. A special blessing to those who listen to the video to the end. I'm gone.